Hello lovely friends, here's a sneak peek of today's fantasy piece. Thank you so much to my lovely subscribers and my lovely members, I really appreciate you. And thank you for joining us for Kim's birthday. I'm very excited today. We challenged ourselves to a fantasy piece because Kim has a boundless, most fantastical mind. And this birthday girl has the ability to see the magic in everything. We decided today to do a fantasy piece of art, and so the imagination went completely wild. Now I'm starting off here on a used canvas and I'm doing a little bit of blending, and I literally just used some white with my little bamboo stick that you see here to do the horizon line and the buildings. So I'm going to show you now how I did that, but in black. So I did exactly the same thing in white, but now I'm using black to create some of the shadows. Now I didn't have a clue what I was going to do until I started today. All I knew was that Kim loves fantasy. She's got a boundless imagination. She loves whimsical creatures, and she has this ability of weaving stories with such effortless grace. It wasn't hard trying to think about something fantastical, and I know she loves fairies. So imagine just for a moment as I show you how I'm creating the shadows, and this is the first time I've done this, and just using a bamboo stick, which is one of the implements I use, one of my tools for mixing up paint. I just wanted to use what was around me and to see what was going to come out of it. So I didn't know what I was going to do until I started, but you can see by using the bamboo stick I'm not only creating the building, but I'm also creating a reflection in the water below, and this is going to create a fantastical city. So imagine just for a moment, if you were to close your eyes, imagine a dandelion shimmering with an ethereal light. And as the wind whispers, it doesn't scatter seeds, but explodes into 1,000 vibrant butterflies. 3 fairies, their wings like stained glass, dance joyfully around its stem, which stretches towards the clouds, reaching above an ordinary city, a canvas of your own imagination. So I'd love to know what you think when you see this. For me, I love dark and light in everything because that's just part of life. And I love hope in everything as well. So if you look at the background, the colours almost give an image of a certain scene, and I'm not going to say what that certain scene is because I have an idea in my mind, but I like to just sow the seeds and then see what you make of it yourself, because that's one of the joys of painting for me, just sowing the seeds and seeing what you think. Funnily enough, talking of seeds, the dandelions, I absolutely love blowing a dandelion, and I've heard Kim talking about it before, you know, when it's at that point where the seeds are going to be blown off. And there's something quite impish about Kim, and there's something quite impish about fairies, and there's just that spirit as free as the wind, so it all seemed to go together. So I really hope, Kim, that your birthday is filled with joy and your life is always a magical adventure. I love our adventures together. So as we go along, you can see I'm using my paintbrush to dot in the gold. There's a gold that I'm using at the moment by Essentials, and I've tried to use it with fluid art. It doesn't work for me. I like vibrant golds, and I like metallic deco art, 24 karat gold, golden fine iridescent gold, that's a lovely one as well. And one of my favourites is Pebeo iridescent gold. And this gold, even though it's a lovely gold here, and when I show you at the end, you'll see the iridescence and the beauty that it brings up in the sky and the different highlighting areas of the butterflies, etc. You can see what a lovely gold it is when you just use it as an acrylic paint rather than a pouring paint. And that's all just experiment, you'll find that as you go along. So I'm using a bit of iridescent blue now to create a bit more shadow, and I'm just doing that in the water, and that's also going to be reflected very slightly in the sky. The fairies are dancing. So just enjoy this part as I continue to use my bamboo stick and I create some shading, and I'll come back shortly as the fairies appear. Just before I go and leave you with some nice music, I use this really thick brush for the first time. It's not the Liquitex one, which I have got. It's very similar. It's a flat brush with really quite focused bristles, and that's how I blended the background for this painting. So I'm using it here just in a moment, just to blend in the blues and greens, and I do it again as I go throughout. So you'll be able to see what I did at the beginning as we go through the painting as well. See you shortly.
In the stone, forever on thrones, histories made in the moments, heroes collide, it's all on the line, with our backs against the wall. We came to fight, we came to take what was meant to be ours, there's no place to hide. We came to fight, we came to take what was meant to be ours, there's no place to hide. Yeah, it's written all over the stars, nothing will stop us against all the odds, but just like we promised, we came to for this. They'll tell our stories of battles and glories, the ones that nobody forgets. Yeah, we'll be remembered for this. We came to fight, we came to take what was meant to be ours, there's no place to hide. Against all the odds, but just like we promised, we came to fight, fight, fight. Yeah, we came to fight, fight, fight. Yeah, we came to fight.
So I've got my trusty pencil, and I've got an old clock face and I've covered it with masking tape because I didn't want the anything to go on the inside. I wanted it to be outside, and I drew around that because that's going to be the shape of the dandelion, and I'm using my trusty semicircle to draw a stem for the dandelion. So now I've got a stencil. This is a beautiful stencil I got in a local shop, and it was just what I wanted, and I had to tilt it a bit because I wanted the butterflies to go in a certain area in the canvas, and I lost the 2 butterflies at the bottom from the stencil, as you can see, and I got the stem to come out a bit further up to get the angle right. So I'm masking it all down there, and I'm just using a kitchen sponge, which is reused, but it's the end of its tether, so I like to use things before they go in the bin. If I can. It's not got grease on it or anything, it was just used for basic cleaning. So I chopped that up once it was dry, and I'm dabbing it in my black paint, which is Daler-Rowney black, and I'm covering all of the butterflies. And as I do that, I then at the end want to give the butterflies some real gold, so I end up using that Essentials gold, bright gold it is, and that gives it the iridescence and that sort of sunlight effect. I put a tiny bit of gold on the fairies, and it's quite hard to see in the painting, but I wanted them to be more of a silhouette, and more mystical, and I wanted the butterflies to be more visual. So as you can see, I'm just finishing off the butterflies here. I'm going to add some gold, and I'll come back shortly as the fairies arrive.
In your eyes, I see a glimpse of light. A new sun is coming up. So it begins. Feel the heat on your skin. A new fire is stirring up. I know it's gonna happen. These dreams, they are for chasing. Don't stop, we got to keep racing. Oh, so come on, dare to be a dreamer. Dare to be a dreamer. Dare to be a dreamer. Don't let go. In your heart, you know you're strong and you're brave enough. It's your time. You were made.
Here's the stem the fairies are going to be dancing on. So I'm using a fine nibbed acrylic pen. This is a black one by Pebeo, and it's really, really good. There are lots of them around. It's about getting the nib really fine so you can be quite accurate with the detail. So I'm colouring in the stem, and then I start to sketch the fairies. As I sketched the fairies, I really wanted, you know, when you get more than, you get 1 or 2 people and then you get 3, there's always one that's the cheeky one, or it tends to be the one in the middle. So I wanted to get the one at the back going forward, beckoning on the one in the middle to hurry up. The one in the middle is the cheeky one saying, come on, let's go and play. And the one at the beginning, at the front, is the one blowing the butterflies. Or blowing the dandelion, and the butterflies scattering. So enjoy my fairies for a moment, and I shall come back shortly to show you the wet and the dried results.
take me down to the river.
As we come towards the end, and I've just finished my fairies, the finishing touches, and I just allow it to dry, I just want to say thank you so much for being a wonderful friend on this art journey, Kim. May your birthday be filled with wonder, just like the stories you love. And happy birthday to one of the most imaginative people and wonderful friends that I have. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you so much to our art community today. Please go and see Kim's video if you haven't already. Let me know what you think of this fantasy piece. Do you like ethereal? What does this brought up in your mind? And what do you feel like creating? I'm going to put the link to Kim's video in the description below and at the end of this video and in the comments as well. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kim. Happy birthday to you. I hope you have the best day, my darling. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, your art is a piece of you. I'd love to know if you'd like to see some more fantasy art. I can feel some more coming up. Let's go and see what the birthday girl Kim from Kim's Art Alchemy has created. Take care. I hope to see you soon. Bye.
My soul is satisfied. Lord, I know you will deliver like you do.